Chapter 383 is finally out, and fuck me, it's actually a decent chapter for once. Now, even though it was very short and not very informative in terms of words, I do believe the substance of this chapter alone has been worth more than the last 5 chapters that we've had over the course of years of slow releases. But why do I say that? 2 words: Guts, development. Too long have we just seen Guts wallowing in pity with no input of the storyline, being a background character just staring into the distance, no words, no interactions, nothing. We just constantly see people around him arguing about the war and how to implement it, fighting off hordes of demons using their own magical powers. Frankly, I've been getting bored as fucking shit. I'm willing to bet I'm not the only one that feels this way. Most of us read Berserk to relate to the intricate struggle of Guts as we can, in some way, whether consciously or subconsciously, see Guts suffering as a means of understanding with what we deal with in reality as well. And seeing him there wallowing in depression and sadness is not something we need to witness for chapters on end, until finally, this chapter comes out. We see Guts finally taking a step forward instead of stagnating in an empty cell waiting for death. We finally see him take some sort of action. Though minuscule, it is still something that is reflecting purpose, not hopelessness. And even though there is still some dialogue, it has significant intrinsic value to the course of Guts' process, as Darby says that when in darkness there is nothing to gaze at but the self. This is a concept that I have explored significantly prior to Moira's passing, and posited that Guts represents a philosophy of purpose through suffering, and I find it rather poetic that this concept is basically canonized in this chapter. By looking deep within, Guts is 100% about to transcend his pain of feeling weak and pathetic, as we see that his main instigators are both Griffith and Casca, the 2 people in his life that he has ever actually cared about. It is finally time for Guts to move past his misery and become useful again. And he almost seems to realize this as he mutters finally, and even hints a bit of a relieved expression as he is engulfed by some sort of cocoon, almost as if it's an antithesis to what Griffith went through during the eclipse. And boy, the scene is what excited me the most in this chapter. It is almost identical to the outer casing of what birthed Femto from Griffith, except the motivators are completely polarized. Guts is one that is driven by his lack of power and strength to protect Casca, whereas Griffith's was just driven by his greed and lust for power. And if the level of transformation is on par with Femto's, we may very well be seeing an upgrade, where Guts finally has the upper hand in winning the battle against the God Hand. But I guess only time can tell. We are all hoping that the next chapter would come as soon as possible in the next 1 to 2 weeks, since this has been a shorter chapter. So let's all hope for the best. Keep struggling, my friends.